So you're saying it's complicated?
It's complicated.
It's
complicated.
It's complicated.
Hey, it's complicated.
It's complicated.
It's complicated.
It's a complicated.
It's complicated.
Oh, okay, so it's complicated.
Hey, it's complicated.
All right, I get you. Don't get yourself in a panic.
Well, I panicked, but then I handled it.
No, Ben Kingsley. No. It's complicated.
It's complicated.
Shut up! Released in 2009 and is directed by Nancy Meyers, who's directed such films like What Women Want, Something's Gotta Give, and The Holiday, which is a holiday viewing must in my household. And this film is starring Meryl Streep, Alec Baldwin, Steve Martin, and John Krasinski. Jane and Jake, played by Meryl Streep and Alec Baldwin, have been divorced for over 10 years. It was not the easiest divorce, but they're now at a point where they can see each other when they go to parties or graduations. And while out of town in New York City for their son's graduation, they meet up at their hotel bar to reminisce about the times past. However, after several drinks later, they end up spending the night together, after which Jake professes again his love for his ex-wife, while Jane is just confused about the whole situation. Yes, she has feelings for her ex-husband and wants to explore what maybe could be now that all of the kids are out of the house, but she's kind of also falling for her architect, played by Steve Martin, who is just a sweet-ass guy. And the film becomes a very sweet, farcical-like comedy, filled with a lot of fun situations and a lot of lying and hiding, especially from their children, who are all grown up. They're over 18, they've moved out of the house. I believe the son just graduated from college. They have an older daughter who's marrying John Krasinski, and their youngest daughter just moved out of the house because they just are starting college. So these are all adults here. So when we get to the ending conflict, especially with the family dynamic, I kind of just want to slap everyone across the face. And that sounds like I'm hating on the movie. I am not. I actually love this movie to death. There's just a climax, a plot moment where I'm just like, really, people? We all just can't be mature about this? They're grown-ass adults. That doesn't affect you in any way. Let them do their thing. Or let them do each other. Basically. So I love this movie off the bat because it takes the whole romantic comedy genre and it does something different and something new with it. Usually it's about this young, honeymoonish love and, you know, they want to get married, or maybe they're engaged to someone else and then they meet someone else and, oh, now I have to choose between, oh, what's happening here? Here, these people are older. They, I would say, are probably in their 50s at least, and they've lived their life. They've gone through all of that bullshit of going through dating and of trying to win someone and to marry someone and start a family with them. That has all happened. We don't get any of that shit here. And instead we look at a loving relationship after the divorce. Here we're looking at adult people making adult decisions and being adult about everything. And I love that. Finally, some mature, smart people in a romantic comedy. I'm in. And they got divorced because Jack was fooling around with another woman who's actually the voice actress of Poison Ivy from the cartoon Harley Quinn, which is one of the best cartoons in at least the last decade, one of the best cartoons of all time. If you haven't seen that series, oh my god, stop what you're doing, watch it now. It's hilarious. But he screws around with her 10 years ago and actually ends up marrying her, and all of a sudden they have a 5-year-old kid together. Yeah, being in my 50s with a 5-year-old kid, that sounds like a lot of fun. He messed up and made a mistake, and here we are with Jane, played by Meryl Streep. We're probably just going to call her Meryl Streep going forward, but she's now at peace with it. She's at ease, she can be in the same room with him, and she's moved on with her life. She's opened a business, a very successful, beautiful coffee bagel place. It's really, really nice. She lives in this amazing house, and she's putting on an extension, and it's just like, wow, these people are very well off. Like, I guess if you want to make this film timely, there is a ton of white privilege in this film. I don't think there's one person who is not Caucasian, and everyone who is Caucasian is pretty wealthy. That aside, though, it doesn't make any of these characters less lovable. And actually, I'm relating a lot to this movie. It's probably why I like it a lot, because I'm relating a lot to this movie, because the whole situation of the divorce and the mistress coming in, I went through that, actually. Beginning of the movie opens up, and they are at this friend's party, and all of a sudden, Jake's mistress comes in, and Jake introduces his mistress to his wife. And hey, this is the other woman. This is why we are divorced now. I actually experienced this during my graduation. My dad was messing around with this woman while married to my mom. My mom found out, followed him, took pictures and everything, served them the divorce papers, and they got divorced. This is all right around the time when I was in grad school, just about to graduate. And then all of nowhere, Dad ends up marrying the mistress. So now there's mom and there's dad and the mistress. And hey, Caleb is graduating from grad school. Let's all come together. It was very awkward. After the whole ceremony, I'm outside, I'm greeting my wife, who's saying congratulations, and there's mom, and then dad and the mistress comes over, and then dad is like, yeah, so this is good, huh? And yeah, so here you go. It was so tasteless of my dad to do that. Everyone was mature and no fights broke out or anything, but the whole situation, like, really, Dad? Really? This is now happening. It literally, like, just happened within the last, like, 10 months, and here we go. Thanks, this day's about me. So I relate to everyone in this movie, because I've watched this movie in real life, kind of. Except the whole getting back together again. My parents, they ain't getting back together. And I feel safe in saying that, because I'm pretty sure they don't watch these reviews at all. My dad hasn't watched anything artistic of mine since, boy, freshman year of college, which was 2006, so I'm emotionally okay. But I like this whole concept of, these two people, they were in love at a time. They had 3 children together. They were married for, I want to say, maybe like 15, 20 years. I'm not sure how long they were married, but they loved each other. And there's always that part of them that is going to have that love for each other, because there was an attraction there. And here we see it build back up again, and we see those sparks firing again. And I love seeing that. It's such a different way to go about this whole romantic comedy. We get so many stereotypical tropes within this genre. I love seeing these new ones, or at least done in a different situation. And it's almost to the point where you really want them to get back together, but then you also see Steve Martin come into the picture, and you see how well of such a nice guy he is to Meryl Streep's character, that you want them to be together. So it's a nice tugging at the heartstrings and making you the audience choose, oh god, who do I want her to end up with in the end? Do I want her to end up with anyone? Do I want her just to end up by herself because she's an independent woman at this point? I'll say I liked how this movie ended. It's what I predicted, and it's what I wanted to happen, so yeah, I'm not going to spoil it because that just ruined the whole fun, and I think everyone should see this movie at one point, but yeah, I was very happy. It's so strange because they're treating this like this whole secret love affair. All of a sudden, Meryl Streep's character, she becomes the other woman to the original other woman, and it's kind of adventurous for her. It's kind of sexy for her. It's thrilling for her, so she wants to explore that, but she also wants to explore a nice friendship and maybe a possible love interest with Steve Martin's character. It's a tug of war back and forth throughout this entire movie, and I just love how it makes everyone out to be good people, even though sometimes they don't do the best things. Everyone is still good at heart. And I was cautious at first, especially when it was Alec Baldwin, because nowadays when I think of Alec Baldwin, I kind of think of parroting, or like SNL when he plays Donald Trump, or on 30 Rock. But I like his interpretation here. He's fun, he's real. You can tell that there is a spark in his character now whenever he sees his wife. He has always had that husky voice, hasn't he? He's never not had that, even when he was younger and a lot sexier, like in The Shadow. Come on, Jane. Didn't you feel something? I love you again. Oh god, it's like destroying my voice just doing that for like 10 seconds. John Krasinski is here, and he plays the fiancé to the eldest daughter, and he's basically, I want to say, like, he's kind of just falling into that stereotypical John Krasinski Jim character, because it's basically the same person in this film. It's nothing new or nothing special. But Jim is very funny, so he's a good foil in this movie. I think the only thing that really bugged me about this entire story is that when the whole secret comes out, you know what's happening, and the kids find out that, oh, mom and dad have actually been sleeping again with each other. This is very confusing for us. Are you guys getting back together? What does that mean for this family? I don't know why, but this family is so tight-knit and so close with each other. It disgusts me. Maybe that's how I am just as a person. I'm not too close with my family, at least my immediate family. I'm very close with my wife, but we don't have any kids or anything like that, so I'm not close with my mom, my dad, or my other brothers. I don't know, it just pissed me off here. I'm like, you guys are too in love with each other and too close. Get some distance between each other, would you? But then when they find out that mom and dad have been sleeping together, they all start freaking out. What does this mean for me? What does this mean for the family? Are you guys getting back together? This is so confusing for me. And Meryl Streep sets the record straight eventually. And in that moment, I wanted to set the record straight. Oh my God, people. You're all over 18. You are legal adults. These two people are in their 50s. They are grown, adult, mature people. They can make their old gone-dad decisions. Chill the fuck out. What they do now has no impact on you at all, because you children are adults. Let them do their thing, you do your thing, and move on. Eventually, they're all a tight-knit family at the end again, which is actually kind of annoying, but in that moment, I'm just like, guys, chill out. These two people in their 50s are fucking around like rabbits. Good for them. Do you know how many people, do you know how many couples like that doesn't exist when you get that old? Let's encourage this. Again, I think this is a great romantic comedy. It takes all of the stereotypical romantic comedy tropes, turns it on its head, gives it a new spin. We're looking at it through a new lens, through an older lens, through a divorce situation lens. And I really, really enjoy that. I think this is a must-see for everyone who's into the romantic comedy genre. Heck, everyone should see this movie, because it's a fun time. It's a nice, sweet, white privilege movie. Everyone is so well off, but everyone is likable. And even in their deceit and in their deception, they are still all likable people. This movie needs to be watched by everyone. I'm going to give It's Complicated 4 out of 5 Blu-rays.
I like it a lot.
Alright everyone, now comes my favorite part of my videos where I randomly select which movie I'm going to be watching next, so let's take a look. Straps! I don't know what that one is. Is that the one with Bill Murray? Right? It's like an army parody, right? I've never seen this before. One of those movies that I own. It was like very cheap at a discount DVD store many years ago. Just never watched it. But I think I've heard that it's extremely funny. I hope so. That everyone out there who has seen this movie is like, oh my God, it's hilarious. What is wrong with you, Caleb? Where have you been for the last 30 years? Here, I guess. But I'll check it out next time. I'm always up for a brand new film, so this will be my first reaction to watching it. Thank you everyone for the recommendations that you are sending to me. If any of you do have recommendations, please comment below this video or leave your recommendation on my Facebook page, my Instagram, or my Twitter. Leave your recommendation there. If I have access to it, I will watch, review it, and give you a shout out on the channel. And if you want your recommendation expedited, you can make any size donation on the PayPal donate button on the main page of my YouTube channel. Please leave your movie with your donation, and if I have access to it, I will watch, review it, and move it to the front of the line and get your recommendation published as soon as possible. I've already had a couple of donations come in. You've seen the published reviews, thanking them, so again, I want to thank you all that have supported me over the years, and especially recently after releasing that whole PayPal donation stipulation. So any donation will be fine, anything to support and grow this channel to what it's been for the last 3 years. I really appreciate everyone out there. Thank you very much. So guys, have you seen It's Complicated? What did you think about it? Or if you've never seen it before, and you stumbled across it because of this video, then comment below, let me know what you thought about it. And as always, if you like what you see here, if you like my take on movies, then hit the subscribe button and make sure you hit that bell so you know the next time I release my next movie review. So guys, I will see you next time with my review of Stripes. So in the meantime, be well, be good to each other, and go watch a movie. Take care, guys.